Polyamorous, polyamory. Is that another word for cheating with permission? Is it healthy? Is it unhealthy? Is polyamory the new way of dating? Are polyamorous people automatically narcissists? Find out in just 1 minute. Welcome back, warriors, to another special edition of the Psychopath Exposure Show. My name is K-I-R-A, Kira, and today we're going to be talking about polyamory, polyamorous relationships, and how they're changing the dating game. Polyamory, it seems that the way the world is moving now, especially because of the influence of social media, most people are keen on exploring multiple lovers at a much deeper level than just casually dating multiple people. But casually dating multiple people, since that's like the norm now, especially you go on apps like Tinder and you're just swiping people away, just window shopping, hookup culture, you know what I'm talking about? So putting that aside for a second, this whole polyamorous movement is about having consensual sexual relationships, romantic relationships with another partner or multiple partners, where everybody has consent. Everybody's aware, there's no lying or cheating technically. Okay, that doesn't mean, of course, that things can get toxic. So I wanted to explore it because someone from the community left me a comment yesterday, and I really appreciate you pointing some things out. So I'm just going to flash the comment on the screen, and I hope I don't forget this time. This comes from Pam Bo. It says, "Hi Kira, I like following your content and enjoy what you have to say about narcissistic abuse. However, I have to disagree with your statement about polyamory. Polyamory is not the same as cheating. In polyamory, all parties are consenting to have more than one partner and communicate with honesty and transparency. Not to say that triangulation and manipulation cannot happen in polyamorous relationships, but it would be very unfair to say that all poly people are narcissistic." Fair enough, Pam. Thank you for sending that in. I'm not sure if I said that all poly people are narcissistic, and if I did, I'm sure you're going to point out the timestamp where I said it. I don't think I said something like that, but it's possible that the context may lead you to believe that that's what I was leaning towards. Here's the thing. In this community, I do believe that most of us subscribe to a traditional monogamous relationship. That's not to say that some of us do not explore open relationships or have explored open relationships. I certainly have. I became a lot more free-spirited after the discard from my psychopath ex many years ago. I didn't feel that I could ever trust anybody again, so why force monogamy when monogamy is actually something unnatural, and it's something that we as human beings have to commit to. It's a commitment because our natural urges are you get tempted and you want to spread your seed as a man, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to speak for the women, but it does take a lot of commitment, and that's the beauty of being in a committed relationship. You know that both of you, both partners, have made a commitment to each other to stay faithful, to stay loyal, to work on the relationship. And the polyamorous movement it's not really a movement. I mean, it's been around for a long time, but it definitely opens up the doors to exploring things at a more free-spirited level. That's not to say it's bad or good. It is what it is. Everything comes at a consequence. How do I feel personally about it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I think it's an interesting situation to, I guess you could say, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. You can actually explore, and you can have a committed relationship with a partner. You're both honest and open, And there's another couple out there that's willing to be open and have the same thing. That's different than swinging, by the way. But this is more like you're in a relationship with 2 people or 3 people. I know someone that's married to 3 women, and they're all consenting, and they're happy as one man, 3 women, and they live together, and it looks like it's great. I don't know how it really is, but you know, they say it's great. Everyone seems to be happy. So whatever floats your boat. Here's where things get tricky though. See, in my experience, and this is why I may have said the comments that I said in that video, I was dating a psychopath, didn't know it at the time. And for the first few months, you know, during the love bombing stage when everything is just dandy and out of this world, towards the end of that phase, I started noticing very subtle nuances. I'm very good at spotting even like 0.5% of a change in people. And I did notice that there was something had changed in the bedroom. There's a little bit of distraction, a little bit of her eyes weren't there. There was just something different. And her going from being a nymph, you know, to all of a sudden just being a little more conservative about things overnight was a concern. I didn't say anything. I just observed. And then she starts talking to me, not being me. She starts talking to me about another guy, a guy that messaged her on Facebook and just said something to her that nobody has ever said, and that just got her attention, and she refused to tell me what he said. I was like, what did he say? She's like, I can't tell you. It's like he knows me. He just made a comment to me out of the blue. And you know, that's when all the shit started happening, right? Just planting that seed. The narcissists have a way of just introducing another player to the game, and all of a sudden you're like, your radars go up. Suddenly I started feeling anxiety in my stomach. I was like, what? Okay, why are you even telling me about some guy? Is he a friend? Do you know him on Facebook? Yep, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to spend too much time on that story, but what ended up happening is that, yes, the sex started changing. It started slowing down drastically. And she started speaking to me about this guy more and more often, and that he was going through some stuff and some addictions, and that she wanted to help him with this. And she was asking for my advice since I have experience with addicts in the past. And, you know, I was like, sure, I can give you some advice, you know, tell him this, tell him that. And I was like, wait a minute, why am I helping some dude that I don't even know? Like, and I was like, what's going on with you? How come you're so distracted? I just noticed she would come home, and she was just she had this smile from ear to ear, just glowing, like, and I was like, that's odd, but she wasn't glowing and looking at me. She would be looking up into the ceiling and just distracted, and then something was definitely off, and I was feeling it. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about, because I know a lot of you have gone through stuff like this. Those radars were up, that anxiety was there, that feeling of impending doom started to manifest. And then one day she just sends me a text and she tells me that she wants to explore polyamory. At the time I didn't know what it was, but I knew it couldn't be good, right? Just something was like, okay, this is not gonna be good. So I look it up, I'm like, okay, let's see what this is. And granted, it's exactly what it is. And I was like, no, that's not gonna fly. So I was like, okay, that's it, we're breaking up. So I told my buddy already. I was like, you see, look, I told you something's changing. She's talking to me about some guy. Now she's mentioning polyamory. I bet you she wants to fuck this dude, and she's trying to like get away with it with consent. So we discussed it, and clearly it was a red flag, and I was done. And I remember going to pick her up after work and just sitting there, knowing that I was gonna have to break up with her, because this was, how do you go back when your partner tells you that they want to fuck other people? Pretty much that's what that means. They want to fuck other people with your consent. How do you go back to something normal? That seed has been planted. Okay, the narcissist has already planted that seed, and you know, whether they're narcissists or not, they've planted the seed that they want to be with other people. This wasn't the case at the beginning of the relationship. This wasn't the case when you first met the person and they tell you, oh, I'm a free-spirited person. I just want to date multiple people. You're free to date multiple people. Just let me know who they are so I'm aware. Make sure you use protection. Let's keep everything honest. And then at that point, you can say, hey, you know what? Thanks for your honesty, but this really doesn't work for me. I'm looking for stability. I'm looking for a committed partner. I'm looking for monogamy. I want to start a family. I'm not looking for polyamory. So again, thanks for your honesty, but this is not going to work. But that wasn't the case in my situation and in a lot of people's situation in this community that frown upon polyamory, because it just gets thrown at you all of a sudden when you think you're in a relationship with someone solid, and now they start talking to you about other people and that they want your consent about it. And as charming as it is to give me permission to sleep with other women too in an honest and safe environment, no, that's not what I signed up for. That's not what I signed up for. And for me and for a lot of people here, cheating is a deal breaker. Simple as that. So like, there's a comment that I loved that someone left also when I posted that video, that polyamory is another word for cheating with permission. And I loved it because it is fucking hilarious. In this context that I'm explaining right now, it is fucking hilarious. And you know what? And it's unacceptable. So you know what? To conclude the story, yeah, we had a conversation and I told her right away, no, this is not gonna fly. And then she said, okay, no, that's cool. I just wanted, it's not that I want to fuck anybody, is that I just have a connection with this person. And it's just it's this deep connection, but it is nothing. I'm not cheating on you. We're not kissing or anything like that. It's just this deep connection that I don't feel with you. Yeah, that is funny how she snuck that in. And it's like, oh, so it's this Facebook guy, right? So you have this deep connection with this Facebook guy, and you know, it started ruining everything. That was like the beginning of the end, because you know what? As you probably predicted, it didn't matter whether I said that, yes, let's do the polyamory thing, or no, let's not do the polyamory thing. It didn't matter what I said. She was already doing it. Okay? She was already doing it. And yeah, she got into another relationship behind my back with this person. And I'm not making this up. I had the evidence in my hands. I saw emails. I saw them communicating. They were in a relationship. Like, she was talking about this person like if that was her boyfriend, and I was never mentioned again. This was where the polyamory conversation ended up. So if it seems that I'm trashing polyamory, understand the context. I'm not trashing the idea itself. I'm not trashing the people that can actually play within those rules. I am trashing the psychopath, the narcissist, the toxic, lying, cheating, son of a bitch whore, okay? That in the middle of what you think is a happy, safe, and genuine monogamous relationship, throws in the polyamory card to screw things up. That's where I draw the line. That is unacceptable. That is toxic. And I don't fly and I don't subscribe nor ascribe to that type of behavior or that type of idealization in a monogamous relationship. So kudos to everyone out there that can, again, play and coexist in an open relationship, in a polyamorous relationship. That's fantastic. I remember a time where I was just dating multiple people, and my idea was, hey, I'm gonna date multiple people, and whichever one I gravitate towards the most, that's how I'll know that's the one I want to make my exclusive girlfriend. And I would tell that to everybody that I would date, and some girls did not want to date someone that was dating other people, and other girls, since that's what happened, especially in my city, they were just dating a bunch of people, they could care less. And but you know what, in the end, I only developed true feelings for one person, not two. One person, not two. So if the narcissist starts introducing another player into the relationship, and they start telling you that they have feelings for you and someone else, that they love you, but they also love them too, and that it's like loving two children. Which one are you gonna love first? Well, let me tell you something, motherfucker. Hopefully, when you're in a romantic relationship and it's a monogamous relationship, you would assume you fell in love with your partner. That's why you're together now, because you guys fell in love and then you decided to become exclusive. If you are in love with someone else, that means you're a cheating disaster of a person, okay? If you're in love with someone else, that means you have cheated. You have stepped outside of the relationship. You have crossed boundaries. You have betrayed your partner. And you have, behind your partner's back, done things, even if it's just getting to know someone at a deeper level, talking on the phone for hours. And I mean, how do you develop a connection like that? How do you develop such a connection with someone you haven't even met, right? Or you haven't even had sex with? Well, I'll tell you, you spend hours on the phone all day long talking and having deep talks, deep conversations, texting all day, sending each other pictures, noticing that you have things in common. So you're developing that connection online. Okay, so that means you are cheating. To me, that's cheating. To me, that is cheating. That is emotional cheating. Okay, and the minute you guys get together, you're probably going to be all over each other's faces. So I don't subscribe to that, but if you like what I had to say, I hope you subscribe to the channel and you click on the little bell icon so that you can get notified when I drop another video. If you have any experience whatsoever with polyamory, whether it's worked for you and you can actually vouch for the idea, for the practice, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear how that worked for you, if it's still working for you. And at the same time, for those survivors of narcissistic abuse out there, if your narcissist or psychopath ex played the polyamory card deep into your relationship, please sound off in the comments below. I would love to hear those stories, and I'll probably highlight the best one in a future video. Remember, you don't have to stand for that. When it's in that context, that is cheating with permission, and the narcissist is just trying to get your blessing for something they are probably already doing, because by the time the narcissist brings it up to your attention, they've already done it 50 times behind your back. All right, so thanks for sticking around, guys. Thanks for all the support and all the love in the live chat. Drop a like on the video if you got some value, and share it with some friends or some people that you feel this information might help. Remember, if you'd like to work directly with me, I do have a coaching program where we set up private Zoom sessions and we can work one-on-one on what you're going through with your toxic ex, or if you're still in a relationship with your psychopath, narcissist, tormentor, abuser, whatever it is that you're dealing with. And I can help you navigate through that, hopefully navigate out of it, and we can workshop the traumas that you're having and find a way, figure out a way together to get out of this nightmare. All right, so more information in the link below on my website, psychopathexposure.com/coaching. I would love to work with you guys. I work with hundreds of people. So do not hesitate and reach out to me today. Thanks again for sticking around. My name is Kita. This is Psychopath Exposure. I look forward to you reading your comments and making more content for you tomorrow. Take care.